Okay guys, this is the report for April 16th. Let's start with yesterday afternoon. We had a half day in the afternoon. Decided to check out the midwaters for salmon for the first hour or two. Trolled 35 to 45. Took 4 fish out there. We took a nice 25-inch Atlantic salmon and 3 brown trout. Brown trout, actually the brown trout and the Atlantic all came on these 2 baits right here. These are reef runner ripsticks on a 150-foot lead. I'm guessing they were down about 15 feet, but now this is really close to that citric shad that we've been doing really well on the Bay Rat. And this is like a blue coral, I guess they call it, but both of these really good salmon baits when they are in that 15, 20, 25, 30 foot of water. Yesterday they took a few browns and a nice Atlantic. The last few hours we slid in, got into typical brown trout waters, and citric shad Bay Rats did most of the damage for us in that water. I think by the end of the trip we had 4 of these out of the 8 board rods. So had a decent afternoon trip. This morning we went the opposite direction. We headed west, fished between Braddocks and the lighthouse. First thing in the morning we had a really decent brown trout bite going right in front of Braddocks. That's all they wanted. That little Smithwick Rogue, I don't know if you call it a goby or a perch pattern, but by the end of our little deal there, we had 4 of these in the water. Took a half dozen to 8 brown trout out of there. Most of them were small. Slid out to 20 foot of water, took a steely and a really nice brown trout out there. Didn't see much, didn't catch much other than those 2. So we finally, the last 2 or 3 hours of the trip, slid out to that 55 to 65 foot of water. That place is loaded with lake trout right now. We ran 2 5-7 color Stealthcore on each side, pulling spoons. 2 colors never took a shot. The 5s and 7s took multiple fish. We were pulling UV Seasick took a few fish. UV Mongoose took a lot of fish. We had Hog Wild go off a few times. Never had MBK go off, which really blew my mind, but those were the 4 spoons we had on those cores. Took a nice fish on a Chinook diver out, I believe 35. That was I think that was our steelhead actually. And then riggers were going with spoons, mostly lake trout. We did take 1 salmon off of a 5 or a 7, it was a 7 color, pulling the UV Mongoose. Might have lost another one right at the end, but pretty good bite out there until that northeast wind picked up, and then it just shut right down. The last 45 minutes we really didn't have a touch, which was good because pretty much clean fish for that last half hour. We had a bunch of lake trout, some browns. We even took a 12-inch perch this morning inside fishing brown trout. So all in all, it was a good day. We caught a lot of fish today. Guys went home with a lot of meat, and that was it. So we're done for the weekend. We've got 3 more trips next weekend, so we will be doing some more video blogging. Really liking this way of delivering our fishing reports rather than typing it, because you know, trying to type all that out's a lot. It's a lot easier to speak it. Plus, I think it's a little bit easier for you guys to comprehend too. So like the page, subscribe, you know, hit that notification button so every time we drop a video you are notified, and we will see you next weekend. Have a good week.